Today's workout focus is hill repeats, hill intervals, hill sprints, whatever you want to call them. So let's get the shoes on and get going. Today's hill repeats are going to be up a hill which takes me roughly 8 minutes to run up, and I'm aiming to do 5 of them, so 40 minutes of hard work, and then it's an easy jog back down, which does actually couple as some technical training. Now the reason for doing them is because it helps build strength when you start trying to climb hills and mountains like that one behind me. And at the moment I'm doing hill repeats on a shorter session, and it's more at the intensity of, say, an interval workout, so it's high intensity. And some people refer to hill sprints, hill repeats as speed work in disguise, and it's not wrong. It's a great way of building cardiovascular fitness, as well as building up the strength in your legs because you're working the muscles more. Now it's not something you should do every day, but I incorporate a hill specific session once a week in my training, and it makes an absolutely massive difference to doing the climbs. And with UTMB in particular, what I'm doing at the moment is very much a preparation phase. So this isn't the final training that I'll be doing for UTMB. I won't be doing hill repeats up 8 minute hills all the way to UTMB, but they are great if you don't have access to longer climbs. But what I'll be doing as the race draws nearer is changing my hill specific sessions. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see what those look like in the future. But today, as I mentioned, it's 5 by around 8 minutes up and down this hill. Last week I did 4. Next week it's the final week of this current build block, and I'll do 6. So just progressing by 1 per week. So ultimately by the end I'll be doing somewhere in the region of around 48 to 50 minutes of hard work in that period. And I'm just about at the trail. So I'm going to put you away. I'm fully warmed up as well. Good point to mention is do a good warm up beforehand. Bum flicks, high knees. If you saw my interval training session, similar to that, you want to be well warmed up before you start the first interval. That's the hill repeats done. So back at the desk and done a bit of analysis in Training Peaks, and the key thing I was looking at was how my hill repeats today compared to last week. So as I mentioned, I did 4 last week. Next week I'm going to be doing 6, but what I was looking at was my time versus heart rate from today versus the 4 I did previously. It was all positive. My fastest one last week was actually slower than any that I did today, so there is progress there, and my heart rate was also lower. I was also able to push on the final rep, so the 5th rep, and that was actually my fastest of the day, as you can see from the stats that I've put on the screen. Now, it's great if you're using the same hill because you can do that type of analysis very easily. Just use the lap button on your watch, for example, or if it's a segment in Strava, you can see quite easily what your times are up that particular hill. If you've got a number of different hills which you want to use, then there is VAM, which you may have seen in Strava. You look at segments, it's VAM. It's something which is more widely used by cyclists, but it's something which I've been using as well. So if you've got multiple hills, you can look at your VAM for different hills. And what VAM is basically the vertical ascent that you are doing within an hour. So if you have a VAM of 1000, for example, it means you're climbing at a speed of 1000 meters of elevation per hour. So it's something which you can use to look as a bit of a consistent between different hills. It doesn't allow for a completely fair analysis because obviously things like underfoot conditions do have an impact if you're on a road versus a trail, which may be quite technical, and also the difference in gradient does have an impact. It seems that VAM is a bit higher on the steeper hills than on the less steep gradients. However, if you've got a number of different hills you're using, it can be quite good to look at the VAM as well as a comparison. As I mentioned at the start of the video, they are a great tool to build into your training plan, not just for mountainous ultras like UTMB, but also if you're doing flatter stuff, 5k, 10k's on the road for example, because they help build leg strength as well as improving your cardiovascular fitness. So I can highly recommend putting them into your training plan, and I'm sure you'll see the benefit from them. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please like it and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any future content. I'll see you next time.